Yo, what's up? It's your boy Marwin. I'm gonna show you how to make these bad boys today. Oxtails are typically a long cook, requiring lots of time, slow and low cooking, and then braise if you're gonna smoke them. But I'm gonna show you a cheat code using brown paper bag to get around all of that. Stick around. Cheat code is plain old brown butcher paper for fall off the bone, tender smoked oxtail. Let's get this thing started. Old school style, slow and low. I mentioned we're gonna cook these Jamaican jerk style. Oh my goodness. The formula is simple. Trim the oxtail, marinate in the jerk seasoning, set up the grill for indirect heat, make an easy sauce. You gotta prepare your oxtail first. The first thing you may notice is there's a fair amount of fat and collagen on the oxtail. That's what actually makes these so good, right? They have so much fat and collagen. Slow cooking, it breaks down and you get these tender pieces of meat. So, but too much fat is not always a good thing, and it makes it hard to kind of cook and impact things. So you want to trim away a lot of the excess. So just kind of look at the thick white part on the outside of the oxtail and then cut. So for me, I'm seasoning mine with Jamaican jerk seasoning, and allspice berries are the key to any really good jerk paste. And so I'm gonna toast mine and then grind mine up in a coffee grinder and add those to the rest of my dry spices that I'm using to make the marinade, right? So now I got my allspice ready. I'm gonna grate some fresh nutmeg to add to the marinade. You can actually get the full recipe from our website, fullfidelity.com, but I'm using fresh thyme. Thyme is another one of those core ingredients to make jerk, Jamaican jerk, really flavorful. You can adjust the amount up or down depending on your preference. I go on the heavy side. And then the other key ingredient is your Scotch bonnet pepper. If you don't have Scotch bonnet, you can definitely use habanero. The heat level will depend on how many of the seeds and how many of the veins you include in the paste. I keep mine pretty mild for this dish, and so I take them all out. My liquids are soy sauce, cider vinegar, some fresh lime juice to kind of add a little bit of citrus and zest. Scallions or green onions are another critical ingredient to make jerk. Here you see me adding the thyme back in there. So I've got a good combination of liquids and kind of harder ingredients. The garlic and then the ginger are gonna be your aromatics that you add in there. And again, you got the complexity of all these different ingredients that really come together well balanced. Got some onions and of course my heat level with the Scotch bonnet. And that's it. So you can start to add those dry spices to the mix. I got some salt and pepper, cinnamon to go along with the allspice and the nutmeg, and then add some olive oil to kind of help, with the more liquid to blend this up to a nice paste. From a consistency standpoint, oh wait, I forgot to add my brown sugar. Gonna need a little bit of sweetness to balance against some of the savory ingredients, especially the peppers. And so once I got that back, the consistency you're going for is more of a paste. You don't want something thin and watery, but you don't want it overly chunky either, right? So I will reserve about a tablespoon or two of the marinade for my doctored up sauce that I'm gonna make later. So I'm gonna marinate the oxtail, right? I got them in a sealable Ziploc bag. I'll add the paste, and then I just wanna massage the oxtail very gently and caress it and try to make sure I get all of that great, tasty, flavorful marinade all over every aspect, every piece, every nook and cranny of that oxtail, right? And then once I got that all worked out, I'm going to try to remove as much air as possible and then marinate the oxtail overnight in the fridge, right? And so while you marinate that oxtail, you can start to work on your sauce. I make mine the day of, but you can make it overnight. I got my favorite barbecue sauce plus the reserved paste, and then I'm gonna start to add some other ingredients. Not too many, keeping it very simple. Some tamarind paste and some lime juice. So I got a little bit of tart, I got a little bit of citrus to add to the heat and my base sauce. Set that to the side. I got my heat going. 20 to 25 to 20 to 50 degrees is the range I'm striving for. I want to slow smoke these indirectly, meaning I'm not going to cook directly over the flame. I want these to cook nice and slow for a good 2 hours is really kind of what you're striving for. Maybe a few more minutes, but 2 hours is really, kind of on the safe side, depending on how many oxtail you have and the size of those oxtails, right? So I got mine cooking at a pretty good, smoke level. I'm happy with the temperature, and I got them indirect heat. So really, the only thing that's left for you to do is to just kind of let the smoker do its job, and that is just like, cook at a really steady low temperature for a few hours, and you're good to go. Now, as these cook a little further along, maybe those last 45, minutes to an hour, you can spray them with some apple cider to kind of keep them on the moisture side, but that's optional. You don't necessarily need them, but it does add a little bit of moisture and a little bit of more flavor, on top of something that's going to be already tender, juicy, delicious, right? So these are getting really pretty. Here comes the critical step. This is the cheat code. I got some plain brown paper, butcher paper, that I'm going to wrap these up tightly and then put them back on the smoker, right? So I'm going to wrap all of my oxtail up, get them tightly wrapped, throw them back on the smoker, and let them sit, again, nice, low and slow for another 2 hours, right? And that's all there is to it, right? And so with the wrap, after I take them off, I'm going to let these rest before I do anything with them. So let them rest for about a good hour, like in a cooler with some old rags, some old towels to cover them up to kind of help retain the heat while they rest. As you can see, as I unwrap them, you can see all the juice. You may have a little bit of stickiness to the butcher paper, but that's from all the sweetness that's in the jerk paste. But yeah, these are really tender. I'm really pleased with these. You see a nice bark on them. There's a lot of flavor there. Really tasty. Then that's all that's left is to, if you want, this is completely optional. You can add that flavorful sauce. It's a little bit on the sweeter side, but it's a great complement to the smoky flavor and the heat that's on these oxtail. Look at how tender they are. You see all the collagen releasing, just pulling apart, really easy from the bone. Really tasty, really happy with these. And it's all because of that cheat code. The brown paper, the brown butcher paper is like magic, right? Helping tenderize the meat and getting you that flavor and that texture that you want, right? So I got the color, I got the aroma, I got the flavor. It's all working for me. Trust me. Looks good, smells good, gonna taste good. Wow, I'm really loving this. I love how they came out. Now, if you make this dish, definitely come back and let me know what you think. Leave a comment, leave a like. Most importantly, don't forget to hit that red subscribe button, and you'll get updates directly to your inbox each week. Peace out. Thanks for joining me.